This is the limitless Keith Lee.
This is Brody King.
This is Angel Garza.
Will Ospreay.
Hornswoggle.
Pentagon Jr.
The Mexican Ray Phoenix.
King Ricochet.
Concrete Rose, Sunny Kiss.
And I'm here to ask you to stop what you're doing, take just one moment, and bask in the glory of the Busted Wide Open.
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 Boston Wide Open.
Busted wide open. Thank you.
You're listening to the Busted Wide Open podcast, dropping the elbow on the hottest topics in sports entertainment and the world of professional wrestling. With your hosts, Nick Howell and Sir Ian Dangerous. Coming to you from the Orbital Jigsaw Network Arena in sunny Southern California. Welcome everybody to BWO Live, coming to you from across the BWO universe of Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. This is episode number 335 of Busted Wide Open. My name is Nick Howell.
And pretty sure the best birth control in the world is Bailey's laugh, because I can guarantee no one is getting pregnant to that sound. I am Sir Ian Dangerous, and welcome to the show, everybody. That's right, it's Busted Wide Open. It's BWO on Friday nights. We are going live right after Smackdown to cover that show, as well as NXT earlier in the week. And, well, we would normally cover AEW at that time, but they decided to go head-to-head with us in direct competition, thanks to the NBA playoffs and ultimately finals. But so that's going on right now. So thanks for choosing us as opposed to them if you're watching us live right now on Twitch, Facebook, or YouTube. We appreciate you being here, and we love you. What's up, everybody? What's up, everyone in the chat? Hello, Anna. Thank you. I see you saying hi over there. Yes, we have much to go over, Nick, as well as the fact that NXT went home for In Your House. Takeover In Your House this Sunday. We got a pay-per-view to do our pick 'em
who's in
score.
my house?
No one right now is in your house, Nick. Calm down.
Oh,
it's
okay.
all good. Everyone, please be a little bit forgiving of Nick tonight. He's dealing with a bit of a viral infection, I guess. Nick, what was it the doctor told you was going on?
There's some. It's not COVID, but there's some virus in my chest, in my lungs, and so I'm slightly medicated.
Oh, good. So you're medicated and you're coffee.
Yeah, well, the cough it's nice. The meds are working. It's coffee is a coffee.
That is good.
Cough,
good.
Coughing. It's going to be a good show tonight, guys.
It's going to be a fun one, especially every time you see Nick vape. Just remember, it's metal in your lungs.
In your lungs.
In your lungs. So we've got to talk about that. Plus, Impact has a pay-per-view tomorrow night. We'll talk about that real quick at the end of the show. So lots to get to tonight, Nick, which means we have no time to dawdle. Let's do a little bit of business, and then we'll get into the rest of the show.
Indeed. We got to kick things off with big thanks to Mr. Abe, who cut a very healthy, lovely promo back on Miro in the Facebook discussion groups. If you guys aren't in there, make sure you get in there.
Stealing Abe's gimmick, man.
I know, right?
Come on now.
Right? Abe had to show him. Abe gave us a little fourth wall, a little behind the scenes of how those kinds of productions work. So we see you, Miro. But he dropped a tenner into the tip jar, says, Friday night, y'all, a toast to the greatest hosts and a toast to the BWO Nation. Have a great weekend, everybody. Thank you so much, Abe. Way to kick us off, man. Also, Kyle Cotton threw in 100 bits, said Nick got metal in his lungs.
In his lungs.
Okay, I feel like we need to clarify something here. If I can put my Magoo glasses on for a second.
Oh, no.
Those little jewels, the little sticks that you guys are running around with, you kids are using today that are so cool and they fit in your little pocket and everything, and they got the little cartridges. Those are called Salt Nicks or Nick Salt Nicotines. That's the shit that has the metal in it. Stop doing that. This is called Freebase. This is just pure vegetable glycerin. It's sugar water.
Oh, good.
Stop
He's
doing
freebasing now.
Yes.
He's freebasing. Do you know what freebasing was in the 80s, Nick?
Yes, it meant something completely different, and it's still done today. I understand that.
Is it completely different? Is it? We have a show to do, Nick. Stop making excuses for your habits, and let's get on with this show.
Excuse me.
Case in point, that's metal in your lungs.
Don't make me laugh. It's bad. Sorry. Yeah, there's viruses in this box now. It's an outbreak. I need my outbreak suit so that it can be contained. There's the Mutaba virus in here. Where's Dustin Hoffman?
Where's the monkey? Kill the monkey, Cuba
Get the
Gooding
monkey.
Jr. Kill the monkey. Oh, my God.
Oh, God. Linktree.com/BWO is where you find all the links to all of our things. Make sure you get into the Discord. We're going to have a dedicated channel. Actually, it's already there. I just created it during Smackdown for In Your House. Takeover In Your House happening on Sunday. I believe the start time is 6:30 for the kickoff show, Eastern time, 7 p.m. main show start. Double check me on that. Don't quote me on that, but I'm 98% sure that's what it is. It's what it usually is. So be sure you come hang out with us for Takeover. Remember, if you haven't converted yet, you're a little late. It's exclusively on Peacock, I believe. So I think they finally moved everything off of the network. So
Yes.
make sure you have Peacock set up, ready to go for NXT TakeOver on Sunday. Big shout out to patrons. Thank you guys so much for all of your support every single month. We love you guys for it. You guys rock. If you'd like to get into on some of those exclusives, you can head over to patreon.com/BWO. Sign up for one of those reward tiers, get access to all kinds of exclusives. Also, we have memberships now with the join button over on YouTube. So if you're a YouTube viewer, you can also subscribe over there at the $1, the 99-cent tier, and that'll get you all the emojis and your chicken, your fried chicken for your months of membership, the same way it works on Twitch. But also, you can have a $5 tier and a $10 tier over there that works a little bit like Patreon. So if you can choose which one you like. At the $5 tier, you guys can ask questions for the mailbag every week as well. And at the $10 tier, you get access to the VODs for and the live streams for any of our bonus episodes every single month. So many ways to support the show. We thank you guys for all of it. Thank you so much. And the last thing I'll throw up there at you, bwomerch.com. We've got new merch available. If you haven't checked it out yet, head over there and look at all of the great art that Sir Ian Dangerous came up with for our new, are we calling this V4? V4, fourth year relaunch that we did about a month ago. So anyway, lots of good stuff going on, guys. Lots of wrestling to talk about tonight as well. So we got to do pick'ems. We got to do all kinds of stuff. So let's not waste any more time and head over and kick things off with Friday Night Smackdown.
Yes, this week on As the Samoans Turn, Roman Reigns, Jay, and Jimmy continue their little family squabble, or I don't even know what to call it at this point. It is a full-on soap opera, Nick, and it is the best thing WWE has done in years. There, I said it full stop. It's fantastic. Roman Reigns has gone into full-on gaslighting mode. He's hanging out with Jay back in his nice palatial suite, his locker room, watching the TV and saying, man, you know, last week when I totally screwed you guys over and cost you that match against the Mysterios, it's a really good thing that I did that, because otherwise it would have just embarrassed our family.
Yeah.
And if there's one thing I don't want to do is to have one of you two embarrass the family. Cue Jimmy Uso to come to the ring and air the family dirty laundry. Roman, you screwed us over last week in that tag team match. You a punk, and I'm going to deal with you later. And then he goes to the back, and Roman says, go bring your brother to me, to Jay. Jay tries to go talk to Jimmy. Jimmy says, Roman can kiss my ass. I'm going to be in my locker room. He can come see me if he wants to talk. You go tell him that. And poor Jimmy is just between both these guys at this point. He's all hangdog. He Charlie Browns himself back over to Roman and says, well, Jimmy says you can go see him in our locker room if you want. And Roman, whole mood changes. All of a sudden, he gets all smiley. He's like, your locker room. That's adorable. That's your locker room. Oh, my goodness. Well, okay. Well, we'll see about that. Maybe I'll go see whichever one you are in your locker room later on in the show. Meanwhile, last week, Roman interrupted that match and then laid a whooping on Dominic Mysterio after the fact. Well, the problem is his tag team partner and co-champion is his daddy, future Hall of Famer Rey Mysterio. And Rey did not particularly take kindly to Roman manhandling his son.
He also beat the shit out of Rey, too. He hit him with stairs and threw him over the barricade.
But then he just whooped up on Dominic.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't like he tied Dominic to the ropes and hit him with kendo sticks.
I mean,
but it was still a pretty nasty beatdown. Right. As you can understand, Rey was like, dude, I'm the one who brought Dominic into this place. Anytime he takes a beating like that, I feel bad. Roman says he's all about family, but how dare he treat my son that way? He gave a fantastic promo backstage to Megan. Fantastic. Full of fire. He's like, I'm going to go out to that ring and I'm going to call out Roman Reigns. At the end of the show, he goes out to the ring, calls out Roman Reigns. By this point, Roman has gone back to the locker room, and he's actually deigned to go to the Usos' locker room, which he said was quaint. And he started to rail on Jimmy, and Jimmy started to rail back on him and was like, dude, I'll kick your ass right now. Let's go. You're screwing up the whole family. You're the one doing this. Roman said, you're the one putting Jay in the middle. Jimmy goes, nah, Jay, Roman's the one putting you in the middle. And Jay finally goes, I can't take it anymore. You're tearing me apart. Lisa! And he storms off. And Roman then turns the gas in the light up to full strength and goes right at Jimmy with he's your brother, man. Why are you treating him this way? You're going to let him storm off like that? You're going to embarrass. All I want is for us to be winning.
Me?
You want to fight? I thought we were past this. Yeah. We're grown men. Are you a kid? Oh, he turned the screws tight. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Oh God, it was good. Just turning those screws on Jimmy Uso. Just some of the best written, best performed drama, Nick, I can remember seeing on WWE in recent memory. It felt like very heightened television drama.
Yeah.
Like all the times that Vince says, man, I think we're like these other shows. This is one of the few times where I go, you know what? You might be. This felt like it could have been on any show about like a sports entertainment franchise.
Yeah.
Where a family is trying to like figure out their shit backstage. It was that good. It was good.
Now, now to go full soap opera, somebody's going to need to either have an affair, murder someone, or both because they slept with the other one.
Well, let's not Vince Russo this yet.
Okay.
I'm enjoying this just being like, just like this kind of like
there's still a purity to
drama. Yes, it's still pure.
There's still an innocence to the whole thing, right?
It's just a little bit, yeah. It's just brothers and cousins not getting along and trying to figure this shit out, and one of them just being a little bit step ahead of the other two. But Jimmy goes running off trying to figure out what's going on with Jay. Roman ends up answering Ray's call in the ring. He comes out to his Castlevania Symphony of the Night final boss music, harpsichords and all. It's growing on me. And Ray's out in the ring, and Roman just kind of goes, okay, what you got to say? Ray grabs a mic and says, Roman, first of all, I acknowledge you. I acknowledge that you are a rat bastard. I acknowledge that you are a rat bastard that's put his hands on my son. Nick, I was fired up.
Yep.
Ray delivered these lines like Mr. Freeze. He was ice cold with this delivery. And Roman just kind of going, what? Come on, man.
Well, he turns right back around and goes, Ray, I acknowledge you.
Right. But he doesn't do that. He doesn't do that until Ray lays out the challenge. Because he says, you want to lay your hands on my son? I'm going to lay my hands on you inside hell in a cell. Ray challenges Roman Reigns to Hell in a Cell. Now, this is not too surprising. We have Hell in a Cell, the pay-per-view coming up. So, of course, anytime you want to challenge someone to a big match leading up to that, you're going to challenge them to Hell in a Cell. I say in my best Simon Miller intonation.
Yeah.
But Ray challenges him to Hell in a Cell, and Roman just kind of goes, scoffs, smiles, laughs, and okay, Ray, I acknowledge you, but come on, let's be serious. Before he can even finish responding, Ray just manifests a kendo stick out of midair and just begins to beat the shit out of Roman Reigns with it.
That kendo stick was not sitting there when Roman got in the ring.
No, he pulled it out of midair. It was yeah. He was
laying on the mat and he reached down and picked it up. I'm wondering if Dom was out there and like slipped it into the ring and the camera guys just missed it or something. I don't know.
He's found a way. It's like a lightsaber, but it's like it's a kendo saber.
Yeah.
Where he has like little stick in his hand. He pushes it and kendo stick pops out. But Roman fends off Ray when Dominic, who we thought was incapacitated, but I guess had just been beat up. He shows up, attacks Roman as well. Roman takes him and chucks him over the top rope to the outside of the ring. Now, it was gimmicked. On first look, it was terrifying looking. You realized after the fact they had kind of jigged the camera angle so you couldn't see Dominic Lance. They probably had a crash pad for him or something. Still, nasty looking bump. Great. Sold the moment totally well. They cut away and then got back to Dom and he was on the ground. So really good job of making it look like Roman had just murderized the boy.
Yeah.
And then kicked Ray in the head outside for good measure and kind of backed away up the ramp to end the show. A+.
Way to go off the air. Holy smokes.
A+.
Roman looks like a monster.
He looks like he's a monster. Ray looks like right where he is at his best as the pissed off underdog babyface fighting for what's right. We're going to we had nothing for Roman in Hell in a Cell up until this point. And immediately now I'm in. Yep. I want that match.
Same.
They do fantastic job.
Absolutely.
Fantastic job here.
Cal threw in 100 bits, said Roman treated Dom out of the ring. I think he means yeeted Dom out of the ring like Uncle Phil treats DJ Jazzy Jeff. Yeet.
Yeah, like it's a Fresh Prince of Bel-Air reference.
I didn't watch it.
He yeets him out the front door or the back door or any door he can, or the windows. Yeah, he yeeted that boy. That's like the definition of yeet.
Woo.
You look in the Urban Dictionary next to yeet.
Send it.
It's Roman Reigns.
He's gone.
Like power throwing Dom out.
Dom's not small. That's a 200-pound man.
He is not 200 pounds.
I bet he's a solid 180 to 190.
Maybe.
Anyway, Kyle threw in another 100 bits, said Roman pumping so much gas out right now, a little spark will blow up the house. Yeah, man. Absolutely. He also threw in another 100. Thank you, sir. Said Kendo sabers only held by the Jedi Masters of ECW.
Yeah, by that logic, I guess Sandman
and
would
Dreamer,
be like
maybe.
Yeah, Sandman would be like the Sam Jackson of the Kendo Jedi Order.
I don't know if he'd like a purple saber or not, but yeah.
Probably not. Yeah. The Knights of the Old Republic, ECW.
Nice.
That'd be a cool crossover.
Hell yeah. Thank you so much, Kyle, for all the bits, man.
Thank you, brother. But yeah, so, I mean, Nick, what do you think is making this arguably the most compelling storyline / angle going on in the WWE right now? I mean, obviously Raw is a complete train wreck right now.
Yeah.
SmackDown has been hit or miss. This is, I would argue, the best thing going in WWE right now. What makes it that way?
It's
what do you think
one of the best things in all of wrestling, frankly. There are some
I'll give you that.
There are some great long-term storylines going on across WWE, AEW, and Impact. You could kind of argue. I don't know much about in New Japan. We just switch champions around over there. But I mean, in all of wrestling, this is one of the best angles happening that's been going on, guys, since SummerSlam last year or Payback.
Yeah.
I can't
They've
remember.
Taken the foot off the gas a couple of times, but for the most part, it has been consistently good.
I mean, we're going on nearly a year of this here in 2 or 3 more months. I think it's not only one of the best things in WWE, one of the best things in all of wrestling right now. I think they desperately needed someone besides who was he feuding with before?
Daniel Bryan and Edge.
Daniel Bryan, thank you. They needed another babyface besides
and
Daniel Bryan.
Cesaro came along and was basically like he jumped up to Roman level for a hot second, but it really was all about Seth all along.
Yeah.
At this point, it seems kind of pointless to send anyone against Roman that isn't a Hall of Famer. That's just the way that Roman's operating. That is, I think, ultimately going to give them trouble when they try to find legitimate opponents for him down the road. At least, come the end of summer. It's going to make it a little hard. Apparently, from the new reports, Brock's out of SummerSlam. I'm taking that with a grain of salt. I don't believe anything when it comes to Brock's booking until I see it. They've done last-minute swerves out of nowhere. So, don't listen to the dirt sheets when it comes to Brock at SummerSlam. He's not at the SummerSlam until we get to the end of the show, and he's not there.
And again, I don't care who you send up against Roman at this point. They're not winning. They're not taking that belt. I've been saying it he's going to hold on to this. He's going to set the record. I'll hot take. Roman Reigns will break all of the records during this reign. He will break the longevity record. Is really Punk and AJ? Brock has it now too somehow.
San Martino, is he breaking San Martino?
Oh God, I don't know if that was 10 years. Like however long he had it, I don't know.
Yeah.
No, I don't think he's breaking San Martino's. He'll break all of the modern records with this reign. In my opinion, there's nobody taking this off of him. I think Ray's a good opponent. Ray's great on the microphone. He's a lot of fun in the ring, and he's freaking Rey Mysterio, for God's sakes.
We've been saying that, though, about people like Pete Dunne in NXT UK, Kaylee Ray in NXT UK, and they both got dethroned. They had long, long reigns, whether it's because of the pandemic or whatever. Meiko Satomura, now your new NXT UK Women's Champion, and deservedly so.
Yep.
Along comes a bigger monster.
Yep.
All you need is for some of these people to come back from WWE, shift, do like a draft, things shift around. Maybe Karrion Kross comes up later this year and they want to book him the way they've been booking him in NXT. There's a lot of things that could happen in the next year that could possibly dethrone Roman.
I still think Drew could come over with the draft later this year and be a face opponent against Roman.
Drew could do it. There's a rumor The Rock is coming to Survivor Series this year. We're not waiting until LA in 2 years to have Rock versus Roman. So I'm not going to go out on a limb and say that Roman's holding it that long, but it's certainly he's being built right now as ungoddamn stoppable. Yep. My other question is, what do you think's going on with the Usos now? Now Jimmy has actually turned his back, it seems, on Roman Jay has turned his back on Jimmy and Roman. He walked away. Is Roman going to be able to gaslight both of them into working for him, or are they going to split off from him entirely? I know you've said in the past you think that it's going to be boring. They're just going to have Jimmy follow the path of Jay, and they're all going to be on the same team. Are you still thinking that after this week, or do they have something more exciting planned? Do you think?
It feels like they're swerving a little bit, but I think the ultimate end game is to have the Usos as the SmackDown Tag Team Champions alongside Roman Reigns as the Universal Champion, having them draped as a faction.
Right, the bloodline.
I don't know the bloodline, the Samoan dynasty,
prophecy.
The tribe. I don't know.
Well, we called it last September, right when Roman came back, and we suspected they might go this way. We called it the bloodline because they called it that briefly for like a 2-day period about 2 or 3 years ago.
We had to wait for Jimmy to come back.
We called it, but they called it the bloodline, I think, in November of last year, briefly. Again, they didn't really mention it beyond that. But I have to believe if they do end up as a faction, they would call it the bloodline. And so I just refer to it as that just because it's easier. You know, when I'm talking about like Roman and the Usos, the bloodline plot line's going on right now.
But I look at just what they had in their back pocket that they might not have anymore. You've got Nia Jax there, that's another cousin. That could be a female in the faction. You had Samoa Joe that you could have worked into the story. I mean, there was a lot of opportunity here that I don't know that they have anymore. So I'm curious. I'm curious where they're going to go with the Jimmy thing, how they're I think they do eventually all come together. I can't see yet how they get there beyond once we get past Rey Mysterio at Hell in a Cell.
Well, let's put it this way. Triple H is getting called out this week on one of his press phone calls this week. He said something to the effect of, and I am paraphrasing because I don't have the actual quote in front of me, but he said something to the effect of WWE fans need to sit down and just watch the show and just not try to guess what's going to happen in the future. And to a certain extent, like, I understand where he's coming from, where he's like, I'm telling you a story, let me tell you the damn story. On the other side of things, it's in the nature of human beings being told a story to try to figure out where it's going.
Yeah.
And Nick, for you and me on this show, one of the things that we do when we analyze this is, do they know where they're going? Do they have a place that they're going? Because we don't want to invest if they don't. And we've been shown time and time again that WWE starts telling stories and doesn't know where they're going. They don't have an end game.
Where's the follow through? Why are you tearing scripts up an hour before the show goes live? Like, okay, Trips, I hear you, but I don't think we're talking about what you think we're talking about.
Right, but my point is, at least in this scenario, is all that I ask is that an angle makes me feel like they have a point, they know where they're going,
sure,
and I'm excited to see what's next. And that's what's happening with the bloodline angle here. It's what's happening with Rey Mysterio. There's some of it happening on NXT, and we'll talk about that later when we talk about NXT. But this is an angle that makes me feel like they have a direction they're going. They have an end game in place, and so I'm willing to sit back and go, cool, they started off with the cliffhanger for the rest of the show as to what's going to happen with Roman and the Usos. We end up with a nice segment with Rey. It's all good stuff, and I'm excited to see where it goes. As much as I want to speculate where it goes, I'm just take me on the ride.
Yes.
I believe
hands off the wheel.
This.
I'm all in on this one.
Right.
And
I
have
believe
been
in
for
where
some
you're going.
time.
Yeah. Can't necessarily say the same thing about Cesaro and Seth and Bayley and Bianca Both of those feuds were they were addressed in, Nick, I think what probably may be your favorite segment in wrestling. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah,
and
Bailey,
that is,
Jesse, Raphael.
yes, Bailey's Ding Dong Hello talk show. Am I right? Your favorite talk show segment of all time?
No.
Oh,
I'm a huge Miz TV fan. So.
Well, the two most annoying characters in
Piper's
WWE
Pit.
met for the first time. Oh, well, now you're obvious. Okay, now you're taking it too seriously. Right. Bailey, Jesse Raphael back out. She's got a nice set. The door is still there. Couches, chairs. Now she's got some placards with all of her finest accomplishments on them, laid around the ring. Couple of ficuses. Mitch the Plant is back. It's great. Her guest on this week's show, the Drip God himself, Seth Rollins. He comes out the top of the ramp wearing another drippy, purpley, white suit thing. He's very polite. He does come in through the door, as you are required to do on Ding Dong Hello. Sits down on the comfy chair, and they just basically, Nick, this can be summed up as two people laugh annoyingly for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
That was pretty much the segment.
Yep.
Was Bailey started laughing about, they laughed about how Bailey got one over on Bianca last week where she had her face laughing plastered all over the Thunderdome. And then they laughed about how Seth Rollins beat up Cesaro, and more laughter and more laughter and more laughter until the door rang again. The doorbell rang. And of course, it's just a freestanding door. So they're like, well, who could it be? And Seth answers the door. He opens it. The camera's on the door side of things. So all we see is Seth's reaction. Cut to the other side of the door, and you can see it's Cesaro just has materialized like a kendo stick in Rey Mysterio's hand behind the door. He jumps out, begins to pummel Seth Rollins all over the ring. A line I never thought I'd say, Nick. He rips Seth Rollins' pants off. Seth Rollins is flailing around in his skivvies. Cesaro trashes the entire set and chases Rollins off into the darkness of the Thunderdome. Comes back into the ring where Bailey is dejectedly picking up the pieces of her set and just goes, and then Bianca comes out of the top of the ramp and just laughs at Bailey. Laughs Bailey like at Bailey. Lots of laughter in this segment, Nick. Thoughts on this segment? Did this make Cesaro or Bianca look good? Did it make Seth and Bailey look like dastardly heels or shithead heels? Like, was this successful as a segment?
Well, while I'm doing that, make sure you look at your text because Anna just shared a picture in Discord, and I wanted to send it over to you of a big botch that the production team made. I am not mad at I am not mad at more Seth Cesaro. Let them fight as far as I'm concerned. I pretty much said all I wanted to say on our Tuesday show about what they're doing with the female champions, Rhea and Bianca, and how I don't like them, and how we ultimately ended up having Bianca come out and kind of do the same thing that Bailey's been doing as like a, hey, haha, you thought that was funny? I can do that too. No. Like this, no. This is not, I don't want my super babyface champion doing heely shit just to get back at the heel that they're facing off against. No, this is not the way Bianca should be being treated.
It seemed really petty. It seemed juvenile.
This kind of stuff should just bounce off of her and reflect off of her and be like, why are you acting like, be bigger than it? You know, that's
exactly.
Be a champion, for God's sake.
Another case of baby faces in WWE not looking good. And it was telling that they actually had to have Seth Rollins mention that she's a, quote, elite athlete in this segment. Why are you having to put these words into your performers' mouths or your commentaries' mouths when the best way to show your audience that someone's an elite athlete is to have them do elite athletic things? Yep. Don't have them come out and laugh like a prepubescent asshole, laughing at someone who, like a 13-year-old.
It's fine for Bailey to do that.
Right. She's supposed to be shitty heel.
She's supposed to be doing that.
But it doesn't make this. It doesn't help their feud.
No.
Right. A feud that's already feels very thin. It just feels even more so.
I should not be rolling my eyes at what something your female champion is doing.
Sure.
I'm rolling my eyes at both of them this week.
At least Cesaro came out and whooped up on Seth and sent him running.
For the whole set,
he got his revenge.
Everything.
Great. That looked good.
Yep.
It made Cesaro, it was hot fire. But then Bianca comes out and looks terrible. That was a bad look for that one. So half good this segment. Half good. Do a little catching up, and then we'll move on.
Yeah, we got one. Kyle throwing 100 bits said, I honestly disliked Bianca in this segment, and I shouldn't. I've been Bailey in the wreckage of something I care about and being upset about it only for someone to point and laugh at my misery. This is the inverse of the Shotzi Tank incident last year, and I shouldn't want to boo Bianca here, the babyface you want to build one of your shows around. I felt sorry for Bailey. How do you mess this up with Bianca?
Yeah, the problem is that Bailey is one of those characters that is a natural babyface. As a performer, she gives off a babyface vibe, and they've had her heel now for a while, and they've had to really work, I think, in some cases to keep her heel, and she's had to do a lot of work to stay heel. So in this segment where she's feeling sorry for herself after Cesaro trashes her set, and she's looking genuinely dejected, and then Bianca comes out, and Bianca, if you remember in NXT, was a heel for the most part because she gives off this very kind of cocky energy, and is very good at looking, strong and dominant. If you had never seen the show before and you watched that bit, you'd think Bianca was a heel and Bailey was a face. So
I think that's the best way to put it. I hadn't even thought about it in that context yet, but if you pretend you've never watched an episode of WWE and you're channel surfing and something's on Fox, right? Yeah. Big show, 8 o'clock on a Friday night. You're sitting at home having a beer, having a steak, whatever you're doing, and you go, oh, what's this Smackdown thing? And you come in and you look at it, and it's completely backwards to what it should be. You shouldn't be doing. This is totally the wrong way to handle Bianca.
And it's funny because Bianca is not too far off in her presentation from Sasha, right? Both of them are always saying how good they are, how they're Bianca's thing is literally like, I'm the best. And Sasha's saying, I'm the boss. So every time Sasha goes face, it's always kind of hard to get behind because she's still being kind of an asshole. She's just fighting for the right reasons. But at least her character is consistent. We don't know what Bianca's character is yet because they haven't had her on the roster long enough to know. And she can come across like a babyface because she's very charismatic, has a great smile, all the rest of that. But it's really easy for her to come across as a dominant heel. And this is what she looked. Unfortunately, I agree. It's what she looked like here.
Yeah.
A little bit. Not I think, enough to totally ruin her, but it was definitely, I would say it came off more that way than how they, I think, wanted it to.
Yeah.
So something that was a little bit more straightforward was a tag team match. Big E teaming up with Kevin Owens in a match against Sami Zayn and Apollo Crews.
With Commander Aziz.
Naturally, Commander Aziz was right there ringside. Fun little match. All these guys are great together. Yeah, we've seen it before, and they're another fun, good match. Lots of chaos at the end with Sami Zayn ultimately eating the pin.
Of course.
As the good guys walk away up the ramp. But I liked how they spun this, Nick.
Yep.
As the good guys walk away up the ramp, Apollo jumps back in the ring and it says, what are you guys celebrating about? Of course, you kind of barely overhear Kevin Owens going, because we won, asshole. And Apollo goes, you didn't beat me. You beat that idiot Sami Zayn.
I love how he turns on Sami. It's brilliant.
Oh, immediately. And he goes, how about this? How about next week we do this again, but you do me and Commander Aziz. You face both of us instead. And Big E and Kevin Owens got to go, all right.
Yeah.
Sure, we'll do that. Fine. And then Sami pops up in the back of the ring and goes, I'm not an idiot. You asshole. You set me up. How dare you? He goes in running his mouth on both of them until it eats a Nigerian nail right in the neck and drops to the ground. So do you think that they're misusing
Dabba-Kato has
Sami?
a nice work punch, by the way.
It's something. He flings that arm around like a crocodile tailed him. What do you think about Sami Zayn's role in this? Like, I think the Intercontinental Championship picture is getting a little bit muddled, but I like everyone who's involved in it, so I can't complain too much. Another situation where I'm kind of like, okay, I feel like you guys are treading water a bit, but I also like all the performers involved. But the one question I have now after this segment is, what y'all doing with Sami Zayn?
Yeah.
He's not going to be involved in the match next week. Does he come in, and do we see some sort of interference there?
Yes.
Do we keep this a four-person scene?
So Apollo turned on him, and he's going to come in and cost Apollo and Aziz the match next week. Big E and KO are going to get the win. And
I'd like that.
Maybe, I don't know if that leads to a triple threat with Big E, KO, and Apollo. I don't know.
But then where's Sami there?
I don't know.
Yeah, at some point, I'd like to see a ladder match. I'm just going to leave it that way.
Yep.
You put Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn and Apollo Crews in a
Big
ladder
E.
match. And I'm saying, and then Big E is the icing on top.
Oh, God.
Just nummy. The Street Profits were hanging out in the exact same hallway that they were last week, in the exact same formation.
I just can't get that out of my head now. A big
Chad
EB and
Gable.
the icing on top.
He is
big, beautiful chocolate frosting. Just yes. Just yes. Yes, give me Big E.
I'm just going to move on. Well, let that just sit there. Yeah. Street Profits, same hallway. Chad Gable comes up from the same exact side, stands in the same exact place, says pretty much the exact same stuff. I thought it was a recap for a second because it's the exact same thing they did last week.
Yep.
Only this time, Chad Gable said, "Hey, I'm so sorry Otis attacked you guys for disrespecting me last week. How about this? As a way of saying, I'm sorry, I canceled our tag match tonight." And they were like, "Why you canceling our tag match? You little idiot." And Chad Gable goes, "I'm past the Shorty G gimmick. How dare you guys? For that, we shall have a match between me and Montez Ford." Dawkins like, "I'll do it." And Montez is like, no, I got this. We end up getting a match later on. Both Otis and Dawkins are told to stay in the back. So we see Dawkins watching the TV during the entire match. Very nice, nice match. Some great offense we have not seen in a while. Montez Ford looking good, hanging in there with an ex-Olympian.
As soon as you proposed Montez Ford versus Chad Gable, I was like, yes, I never knew I wanted that match until right now. Please put it in my eye hole.
I was terrified they were going to give him 5 minutes. They gave him about 10, and it was 10 beautiful, beautiful minutes.
Yeah, it was.
It's fantastic. The only downside was we didn't really get a finish.
Nah. You knew that was coming, though.
Bit of a botch. Couldn't quite tell what happened. But basically, as Dawkins was watching the TV in the back, Otis comes along, lays him out, beats him up, and then comes out to the ring. Montez Ford had just put his frog splash onto Gable, and they were trying to kind of slow play it, and ref Jess was like slow counting, and Chad Gable had to kick out of the damn thing. I know, Dog Ziggler, was your least favorite part of the night. You couldn't believe Otis was that slow. Otis got to the ring a little bit late, and so Chad had to kick out of the finishing move. But then Otis basically beats up Montez Ford, and Dawkins comes out and gets beat up as well to end the segment. Nick, the most notable thing about all of this, besides the fact this is going to be a nice little feud, the most notable thing about this is Otis now has his hair back in a ponytail and has shaved his face. I'm going to take a step back here. Otis is your boy. What do you think about Otis being shorn of his beautiful beard?
First Jackson Riker, now Otis. Who's next? Are you going to have a freshly shorn Bobby Roode? Like, I don't even know what Bobby Roode looks like without a beard.
Go back to TNA. He was without a beard.
Well, he also had a giant, glorious mullet.
That he did.
Oh. I don't know what's going on with the beard apocalypse in WWE, but I'm not happy about it. Let me just say that. I don't know what's going on. Stop it. Like, beards are like really in. They have been for the past 5 years. Let them boys have their beards.
Nick, is it a beard apocalypse when only 2 people have shaved their beards off?
Listen.
Or are you just a harbinger?
It is when 2 of the most glorious beards in all of wrestling were just shaved off this week. This needs to no.
Was Otis's beard
Riker looks
really...
good. Riker looks like generic creator wrestler now. There's nothing unique about him anymore.
I got a lot to say about that, but I'm not going to swallow my tongue on
Otis,
that one.
I think Kyle said it. It looks like a Vader clone now. Are they going to have him? They've got him coming out in a singlet. They're going to put him in a little brace mask.
What's wrong with that? But maybe Vader can finally get some wins. They make him a Vader clone. I like this. It shows that he's truly changed and become part of American Alpha. It makes him look kind of creepy. You'd have to get him away from being big, fuzzy, lovable Otis. I thought this was a good call. I thought changing up Jackson Riker was a good call.
Shaving your beard is never a good call.
Again, I'm going to say Riker shaving his beard was a good call if they're trying to make him a babyface. Them making him a babyface, my opinion on that's a whole different thing. But if you're trying to make someone a babyface, that big scraggly beard he had definitely made him look a little bit more like Scary Mountain Man. Otis definitely made him look kind of lovable and fuzzy, look like he had a Lhasa Apso taped to his face.
Right.
This is a much better look for him to look like kind of a sleazy heel. So I think it works. I dug it. It changes his look. It makes people think of him differently. So I thought it worked.
Yeah. To be determined. We'll see how it works out for them. That's years of investment in your life, in your face, in products, and all that kind of stuff to make that kind of a drastic change. Not only, look at Jackson. He had years worth of hair grown and years worth of beard cut.
Well, they didn't make Braun Strowman cut his beard. They just fired his ass. So
that's a good point.
If he comes back, barefaced, then we'll talk about beard pockets.
Right, and Chad says, all facial hair has been released with best wishes on their future endeavors. Yes. That's a good way to put it. Thank you, Ryan.
Yeah.
Kyle on 100 bits said, it's Vader. Otis time.
I got no problem with that.
If they just try to turn him into Vader, well, I think he already did a Vader bomb, or it's part of his repertoire.
He has done it. I think he's trying to not directly do that because it's a little bit obvious. A little too close.
Yeah.
He's got that great second rope splash though. Looks terrifying.
Yeah, that
until Bronson Reed comes along with the tsunami and is like, that's my move.
Future match between Bronson Reed and Otis. Yes, please.
Done. Sold. Gimme. But one thing that I don't necessarily need in my life is more Carmella and Liv Morgan. We had that match run back again this week. Carmella still being announced as the most beautiful woman in WWE because we can't have enough diva stuff in 2021. Liv Morgan, luckily, this week backing off on saying, no, I'm the most beautiful. And she just comes out to have a fight with Carmella this week. And in true 50-50 booking fashion, this week, Liv Morgan wins. Now,
did she, though?
She did. She won straight up. The only downside was immediately after the match, Carmella no-sold her finishing move and immediately had Greg Hamilton announce her, but still the most beautiful woman in WWE, Carmella, and just went right back to talking to Michael Cole ringside and just completely no-sold.
And her music got played. Thanks for coming, Liv.
Yeah, they're talking all this stuff about how Liv is turning over a new leaf. It might be a new big thing. Liv Morgan back on the right track. I've heard this song and dance before. She's going to have to win more than once for me to believe that.
Yep.
So we'll see if there's a rubber match next week and what their plan is here with Liv Morgan, because, again, this felt like it was more about Carmella than it was about Liv.
Yeah.
And finally, speaking of rematches, and we're basically getting worse and worse here on SmackDown. The worst thing of the night, Baron Corbin, Shinsuke Nakamura. 5-minute match. Again. Rematch. Again. Their fourth match in the last month and a half. And their fifth week of doing some shtick with Baron Corbin's crown that Shinsuke has stolen. And Boogs is there playing his guitar.
We didn't even get the intro this week. We just come back from commercial and they're in ring. He's not even plugged in and really playing it.
They kind of screwed up on the entrances this week. They had Chad Gable. They come back from commercial. He's just automatically in the ring, and they're still playing Montez's music. And Chad even says they should be playing my music out loud.
Why are they playing your music?
Yeah. But anyway, we got this match. Nakamura finally won with a roll-up because that's exciting. And I will say this, Nick. All right, cool. Corbin went back and complained to Pierce and Sonya Deville. They're going to make a rubber match next week, the fifth match. Winner takes the crown. Okay, cool. 2 weeks too late. Boring.
Why not just wait and do it at Hell in a Cell in 2 weeks?
Because
or a week from Sunday, excuse me.
Because they've already ruined this feud, and that match is not big enough to be on a pay-per-view. That's why. Yeah, they've bungled this. This could have been exciting. Do you feel like the one point of this is that they're trying to get Nakamura and Boogs out there to kind of get their shtick together before audience comes back?
Yeah.
Could that be why they're doing this?
I do like it, but I'm wondering what they're going to do with it. If he's just an entrance man, does he ever step up and start having his back? Does he ever step up and start fighting?
Right. Is this a tag team? Is this kind of
not
like
even
Elias
a tag
Jackson
team, but like a
reverse?
corner man? Just does he? If
he has. He's taken bumps for him. He's stolen the crown back from Corbin over the last couple of weeks. Like he has been kind of the corner man.
I don't know. We'll see where it goes. We've all been waiting for Bugenhagen to show up, and it finally does. And I'm not sure if this is the best way to do it. We'll see.
Well, I'll put it this way. At the top of the show, we were talking about angles where we're sitting there excited to see what happens next. This is not one of those angles. No. But I will say this. I will give credit to one thing about this show.
What's that?
There was only one interference end to a match tonight. Every other match had an actual conclusion. Every other segment had an actual conclusion. So overall, very good SmackDown. Very enjoyable show.
Funny how that works when you don't DQ finish and distraction finish at 5 matches a show.
Well, and the best parts of the show were the stuff that was not a rematch, the stuff where they tried new things, or they set up new things, there were stakes involved, or they take the end of it and make something progress. It was a very good show in that sense, and of course, the top of the card was exemplary.
Yep.
But yeah, Nick, we got to do any catching up? Or are we looking all right?
We're good. We're ready to move on because
that's fantastic.
Yeah, we've got to head over, and before we get to the pay-per-view this weekend, we've got to head over and talk about what went down on the go-home show of NXT.
So a lot of stuff heading into In Your House this Sunday. A lot of angles heading into those 5 matches. The main event, of course, is going to be a fatal 5-way with Karrion Kross, Adam Cole, Pete Dunne, Kyle O'Reilly, and Johnny Gargano facing off for the NXT Heavyweight Championship. The main event segment of this show was Karrion Kross coming out to the ring and saying, "Y'all want me? Come at me right now." Regal coming out and saying, "No, you will not do this to my show." And Kross being like, "Shut up, old man. You haven't had control of your show in weeks." Harsh truths from Karrion Kross. But before Regal could say anything else, out came Kyle O'Reilly saying, "I'm going to kick your ass." Out came Johnny Gargano saying, "What? You're going to have smack talk to you by a guy in a jean jacket." Out comes Pete Dunne saying, "I'm the baddest man in NXT." They all surround the ring, and Kross is in there going, "Bring it on," until Adam Cole pops up on the monitor and says, "I'm not so dumb as to show up there like the rest of these mooks, but I'm going to take your title and show that your title reign is irrelevant because I'm the real champion of NXT, baby. And have fun, kids." And sure enough, they all get into a big tussle. Karrion Kross will fend everybody off until Adam Cole shows up, kicks him in the back of the head, and then gives him a final shot, or a last shot to the back of his head as well, and then stands tall to end the show with the title. So, question: why even pretend that Kyle O'Reilly, Johnny Gargano, or Pete Dunne matter at all here? They really felt like, was it just me, or do they feel like fifth wheels?
It's not even that they feel like fifth wheels. They are all former, or I think will be, they are worthy of being in there in the conversation around the NXT Championship. I have nothing to invest in here. I have no other than it's a bunch of dudes that raised their hand.
It's a bunch of dudes who said, I want a shot.
Get on board. I like the banter and the clash of Adam Cole and Karrion Kross that we had last week, and that seemingly carried on this week as we go home. But I'm not invested in any way. It's not that I don't feel like they don't deserve to be in there in that conversation or in this match. All I really want to see is Adam Cole and Karrion Kross.
And that's the problem, is it does feel like Adam Cole is the biggest deal, and they made it feel like Adam Cole's the biggest deal, and everybody else is just kind of there.
Yep.
And that's more my issue here. So, yeah. And the other problem is that Karrion Kross does look so incredibly dominant. You know, he took out 3 dudes. 3, and a whole host of security guys who were also getting involved in it. He took out everybody.
Yep.
Adam Cole had to blindside him to take him out. So, yeah, he's the guy to beat. Let's give our pick'ems right now. We're talking about it.
All right.
Karrion Kross versus Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, Johnny Gargano, and Pete Dunne. Who do you have? Kross retaining or someone else picking it up?
Kross retains.
Kross retains. I am also taking that. I don't see any way that they take it off him yet. Well, unless something that is going to be a recurring motif for NXT this week, unless someone's getting called up to the main roster. I don't see Kross getting called up to the main roster now. Nope, not yet.
No.
So Kross going to stay right where he is. Ember Moon.
After SummerSlam, maybe, depending on the outcomes of SummerSlam.
Yeah, I think he needs more time.
I do too.
In NXT to really kind of let him settle.
I also don't want him to lose the fire of that entrance.
Yeah.
So it needs to be ready to build to something as soon as he comes up.
I will say this. The end of this segment was a hot go-home for the pay-per-view.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be an exciting goddamn match. These 5 guys, like absolute cardio machines.
Yep. I hope they give them 30 minutes. I hope they give them a lot of time.
Hell yes. This is going to be absolute goddamn chaos.
Yep.
I can't wait for it.
Yep.
Another match I think is going to be really good. Ember Moon versus Raquel Gonzalez. She said, "I'm going to take out Dakota Kai en route to Raquel." So she had a match with Dakota on the show. Unfortunately, Raquel was ringside and decided to get involved when it looked like Kai was going to lose. She got DQ'd. She got herself DQ'd Raquel interfering in the match, but Ember fighting back and actually getting probably one of the most beautiful eclipses I've seen her lay on somebody in a long time.
It was like Raquel. A somersault eclipse kind of thing, and then she hit another eclipse.
Well, so it looked like she was about to get Raquel's big old like a powerbomb choke slam or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But she twisted around and was able to get like a modified eclipse.
Right.
Like as a counter.
Yeah.
But it was like a counter. But then she went up on the top rope and did the proper eclipse, which is, of course, is like a somersault stunner off the top rope. And just absolutely gorgeous.
Yep.
Gorgeous eclipse. Like, it's just retire the eclipse. It's never going to get any better than that. Except we have a match on Sunday, so, bring it back.
Yep.
But she knocked Raquel out. And the commentary make a big deal out of that because you have to believe that Ember can possibly compete with her. They said, we've never seen Raquel get straight up KO'd. The eclipse KO'd her. And Nick, props to both of them. It looked like it would.
Yep.
So awesome go home for this angle as well. It's too bad about the DQ finish. I feel like that was their way of protecting Dakota Kai, but don't put her in that position if you don't want to have an actual outcome to the match.
Or it's their way of sort of excusing her from Raquel Gonzalez in a way. Like, we need to figure out what to do with Dakota. I feel like Dakota might be an anchor dragging Raquel back a little bit. I don't know if it's helping her.
It's not helping Dakota to be in Raquel's shadow. It's not helping Raquel to have a lackey who can't get the job done.
Yeah.
It's not working for anybody.
Nope.
So and if you're not willing to have Dakota eat a loss, then why is she even there?
Exactly.
It's a weird situation. But who do you think's winning this one, Raquel or Ember Moon?
This was all to build up and make Raquel look even stronger. So Raquel's retaining totally.
Yeah, I felt like Raquel just got it. She's really strong. As much as I think the Ember's fantastic, having Ember stand tall here was her moment. She'll be losing on Sunday. Raquel retains.
Cal threw in 100 bits and said, Cross is about to kill a bee with the fire. Kill a bee. Oh, I'm assuming it means bitch.
Kill a bee.
Cross is about to kill a bee with the fire he's taking from these guys. I was going to pick Cole, but that's kind of changed with rumblings of news that dropped today.
Mm-hmm.
What is he referring to?
I don't want to spoil it.
Okay.
That being said, speaking of killing bees, I'm actually going to jump ahead because it just transitions much better. Mercedes Martinez and Xia Li. Mercedes Martinez coming out for a match against Amari Miller. And never got to the ring. Xia Li jumps her from behind on the ramp. They tussle down to the ring. Nice little tussling. Mercedes Martinez ends up getting the better of it. Tosses Xia Li over the barricade where she is attacked and pulled away by security. Mercedes then gets in the ring, one arm kind of hanging dead by her side, and murders Amari Miller with one move, one air raid
crash kind of thing.
And then done. And just stands up. It was just Mercedes Martinez killing bees for 5 minutes.
Yep.
And I loved every second of it.
Yep.
This is
exactly why Mercedes Martinez is good in NXT. This is exactly what we want her to be doing.
This is what I know that it's a totally different product. It's not what they're selling on the main roster. But God damn it, I want more of this on the main roster. This is how you sell your women. Sell them like you're badass men. Mercedes Martinez reads, she reads as being a badass. She can play a hard-ass chick really, really well. She's believably badass. So Xia Li. The difference is Mercedes has nearly 20 years of experience in the ring. Xia is still pretty green. So Mercedes goes out there. She reads like a badass. You have Xia Li going up and taking it to her. It feels badass. This was a great go-home for this match where we're expecting to see these two just tussle on Sunday. That being said, who do you see taking the victory in this one?
I think you have to have Xia Li. I'm of two minds here. There's one way you want Xia Li to win because they've been working on building her so much. And there's another side of me that says her losing would invoke Qian Xia to the point that we might actually get further that story along. Because she hasn't lost a match yet since she's come back with this mentor. So I don't know. I'm kind of torn. My gut says Xia Li somehow figures it out. I'm wondering if there's a Qian Xia interference here, something to do with that. Mercedes has tried to call out Chansha. There's all kinds of tomfoolery that could go on here. I halfway expect a schmoz finish in this one either way. I'm going to pick Xia Li.
Okay. I am too. I feel like this is Mercedes
She's
Martinez
the story,
again.
you know.
You looking strong going into a loss. You know, Xia Li did not look terribly strong here. She did get kicked over the barricade. So I feel like Xia Li's going to come back strong on Sunday and win this one.
Yeah.
We also had an odd little segment where Legado de Fantasma was in the ring calling out Bronson Reed. Bronson Reed comes out and he did that thing that I hate when baby faces do where they go, hey, remember last week when I did something that made you look stupid? Let's watch it over and over and over again. The heel gets all pissed. Well, that happened here. He showed him squishing Santos Escobar against the barricade last week. Showed it over and over and over again. Made jokes about how Santos crapped himself when he did that. Squeezed out like toothpaste. And Santos ultimately said, you think you're such a badass, why don't you get in the ring? And then Bronson did something that is very much a babyface thing, and that was, you got it. And he marches down to the ring right into the jaws of three heels. Except he wasn't alone. MSK ran out and also got in the ring as well. Santos and his boys take a powder. They take off, and on their way out, they go, hey, you all want to get up in our faces? How about this? You guys are so cocky. Why don't you put all those titles on the line at the same time? 6-man tag match, winner take all. Woo. MSK's tag titles and Bronson Reed's North American title on the line.
Steaks. I love it.
Yummy. That is a medium rare steak right there. I'm with peppercorn sauce. I'm all about that.
Yep.
That's a unique kind of match we have not seen in a while. That being said, do you feel like Legado has a chance of winning this, or is it too soon?
No, it's too soon.
So it is too soon, right? Bronson
absolutely picking Reed and MSK.
And here's the problem: is I want to pick that as well, except I'm looking down the card and everything else is so predictable. Raquel Gonzalez, it's almost impossible she's going to lose this. Karrion Kross, almost impossible that he's going to lose this. Xia Li, all logic points to her winning this feud, like you said, unless it's a schmoz finish. And the other match we have to talk about, Cameron Grimes versus LA Knight, has a stipulation that makes me think that's the unpredictable one.
Yep.
But I feel like if there was a swerve, this would be the place. This would be where. And one of the reasons I think that is because as Legado was leaving and the segment was ending, out came Hit Row. And Hit Row mugged up against Legado de Fantasma. Now, for you and I, Nick, who are Lucha Underground nerds, we went, kill shot and King Cuerno. And it was awesome. Yes. It was a sweet little moment.
Yes.
But I wonder if that was just for the Lucha Underground fans or if that was their way of saying, here's an upcoming feud.
I got next.
If Legado wins the title.
Is how I interpreted it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Or he should say, we got next.
We got next.
So do they flip the titles here this quickly after the Dusty? I mean, it's been about a month. It's been 6 weeks since the Dusty Classic, since MSK got the titles. Bronson Reed just got it like 2 weeks ago. So I don't know. It feels too soon to flip the titles. But I hear you. What I think is, I wish we had one more week. I feel like it would be better if they somehow figured out how to triple threat this with Hit Row. But what I don't like about this is that Hit Row is not on this card anywhere, and that feels not too good to be true, but I think they're going to show up. I think Hit Row's coming in to mess with Legado de Fantasma, and that could ultimately be how Reed and MSK retain it. I think they're coming in. I think Hit Row's going to be on this show somewhere.
I don't know. Maybe.
They're too hot right now.
They're pretty hot. We'll talk about their segment in a little bit. Yeah. But I'm going to say Reed and MSK just because I think that Vegas odds, it seems more logical that they would win this match. It seems like it's too soon for Bronson Reed to lose his title. MSK could lose theirs. It'd be a short reign, but not as short as Reed's. The only caveat I'll say is because the rumor is that main roster is looking to call up NXT stars, but Vince has to give Triple H a heads up now so that Triple H can finish up programs for his NXT stars and they just don't vanish.
Right.
He's like, I want to be able to tell the storylines. This is an opportunity to get this title off of Bronson Reed if Reed's getting called up. Conversely, It's an opportunity for Legado to go out on their backs, put over all these guys if they get called up. So again, there's no rumors I'm basing this on. This is rampant, dangerous speculation.
Where do they go, though? Let's play that hypothetical out. They go out on their backs, put these guys over, new guys over big, and we have Santos Escobar walk out on Raw?
Yeah, Raw needs him. Raw needs something, man. Raw needs something. I don't know if they'll put him over on Raw, but
I mean, do they get involved in the U.S. title with Sheamus? Like, where are we involved? They're not going to put Santos up against Lashley and Drew.
Tag division. At some point, get it off of almost an AJ, and then you have a whole.
God, Santos is way bigger than Raul and Joaquin.
But I'm saying, like, you can still you can have them run the tag division, or do something with them in the tag division at least. So I don't know. Again, this is just speculation. Again, they're not. I don't think they're bringing them at the main roster with the thought of, we have a program for them. They're just like, we just need more bodies. So
I think that'd be the worst thing.
I personally, I actually agree.
You have a legit
Santos will do well.
Latino star. It's what you've wanted for the long. It's probably maybe one of the best since Rey Mysterio, as far as clear speaker, good promo, looks great, is the whole package.
If you can speak Vince's language with it, tell him, like, hey, it's just basically going to be Latino Seth Rollins with Mercury and Noble.
Yeah.
And book him that way.
Yes.
And just,
oh my God, yes.
Then you could get something good out of it.
Yep. But
we'll see if they do. Like I said, I'm playing it safe and going for Reed and MSK.
Yep.
But as we said, the other match on the weekend is a match, Cameron Grimes versus LA Knight. It's a ladder match, Nick.
It's a Ted DiBiase. $1 million ladder match.
It is indeed. Ted DiBiase came out to the ring to say he had a priceless announcement for the two guys. We saw LA Knight at his mansion with all his chicks that he very casually dismissed as they poured him champagne. Got into his nice Mercedes. That was a nice car. Yeah. I like that Mercedes. And then we also see Cameron Grimes at his mansion choking on a cigar, not able to really enjoy bourbon.
I loved this.
He doesn't know what the hell he's doing. He's just got a whole bunch of new money. He rolls out in his Rolls Royce. They both show up, roll inside, and meet Ted DiBiase in the ring. DiBiase says, "Guess what, boys? I want one of you to carry on the $1 million legacy, but I can't decide. You guys have to decide by climbing the ladder of success." And down from the ceiling folds this beautiful solid gold ladder with dollar signs on the side. Cute. Cameron Grimes goes off and he says, "I'm going to climb the ladder, Ted DiBiase. I'm going to climb it to the moon. But what am I going to get at the top of the ladder?" And Ted DiBiase says, "Well, you're going to get this." And one of his many goons brings over a briefcase that he opens up and reveals the $1 million belt. Sparkle, covered in diamond.
It's back.
We are.
I can't do it that well right now because it's
yeah, you attempted a DiBiase
that was
with
bad.
metal in your lungs. So on Sunday, we're getting a ladder match for the $1 million championship between LA Knight and Cameron Grimes. Nick, I didn't know I wanted this match so bad. I felt like this feud has kind of gone a little soggy in the last couple of weeks. This got me right back hyped again.
Grimes is even channeling some flair. He's pulling his coat off. He's pulling his clothes off. He's kicking his shoes
off a little bit.
Yeah. I want
we
this.
Got two flair. If you put LA Knight and Cameron Grimes together, you have some sort of weird, like, Island of Dr. Moreau Flair hybrid thing. They both have, like, parts of Flair in them.
It's the funny. Mecha Streisand hybrid, super hybrid thing, right?
Yeah,
oh, right. God. I think this is fantastic. This has gotten a lot. All of a sudden, I'm into this. Like, all of a sudden, I haven't really been up for this for the last few weeks. Now I am. I thought the video packages that they did this week were fantastic. Two completely different opposite ends of the spectrum. And then the $1 million belt being back. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Also ladder match. Like, Jesus Christ.
Also ladder match. Yes, of course. I'm always down for a ladder match.
These two guys are going to throw themselves all over that ring, and it's going to be glorious.
Yes. And I feel it's going to be a big coming out moment for LA Knight. But that being said, I know Grimes is your boy. Who do you have winning this match?
Oh, Grimes. Easily Grimes.
Really?
Easily
you think Cameron Grimes is going to get
all the way, 150% Grimes.
Man, I don't know. This one's a really tough one for me.
He's been doing this for like 9 months now.
You know what?
Like 6 months now.
I'm gonna take LA Knight.
Yeah, we got to do something different.
I'm gonna go LA Knight. And the reason I'm going to do LA Knight is because it's the only one we're going to disagree on, and it's the one I'm the most unsure of.
Yeah.
And so this is one where I could take LA Knight and I could reasonably see him winning this. Yes, this has been Grimes' storyline for the most part, but who will it benefit more? Grimes is already over. Grimes already has a whole gimmick. LA Knight doesn't have a whole lot. You put that $1 million belt on, he's already got the attitude, the Ted, like he's got, if you want to talk about a person who's more in line with what DiBiase was, it's LA Knight.
Sure.
And this feud can continue with LA Knight then being the heel and Grimes being the somewhat babyface, the goofball babyface chasing him.
But do you remember last week when they were having that match and DiBiase came out? They did it for a couple weeks. DiBiase came out and LA Knight all of a sudden got real insecure about himself and was unsure, and with Jake Atlas, right? So I think there's a story here, have Grimes win it, but then LA Knight has to kind of prove himself. He's still going to be that insecure chaser
Right.
and try and go get it back. So I do think Grimes wins here.
That's my exact thought,
Yeah.
but opposite.
Oh,
I feel
okay.
like Grimes will be that one chasing it.
Yeah,
And
okay.
I think that LA Knight losing last week was actually a way of tipping the hat that he might win on Sunday.
I'm not convinced he has a big future in NXT yet. LA Knight.
Oh, man.
I'm
I
kind
feel
of
like it
getting
could be money.
EC3 vibes, if I'm being honest.
Oh, well, at least he didn't work for TNA. So if he goes to the main roster, Vince will just look at him and go, he's jacked and he can talk.
Right.
He won't be like, he was.
LA
Dixie
Knight would
Carter's
absolutely
kid.
be perfect on the main roster. They could
Dixie
sit.
Carter's kid, I'm going to kill him. I'm going to kill him, pal.
Catherine 100 bits said this promo from Cameron Grimes gave me goosebumps. That man was gold all night, particularly that promo that went full Ric Flair. The $1 million title feels like it could be sort of the old school NWA division with this type of storytelling. This is my favorite build right now.
And I love the fact that they might be able to kind of change the trajectory of the legacy of the $1 million title. Make it, like just kind of a sideshow title in NXT.
Don't go full 24/7 with it, right?
No, exactly.
Hardcore title it in a way.
This could be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give it some prestige.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Kyle.
Speaking of prestige, WWE actually had Poppy on their show this week, not just to perform, but actually she did some bits. She was in there talking to Triple H and William Regal. They asked her, hey, so, when's your album going to drop? She pulls out her phone and goes, oh, right now, and hits a button. Triple H and William Regal are absolutely boggled by technology. What? You can just do that and your album drops?
Triple H back there mugging and emoting with just, I was
over
dying.
the top. Regal too.
Yeah.
But Triple H, he and Shawn Michaels have always been perplexed by technology.
Right.
So they can't believe that Poppy dropped her album live on NXT, which I guess she did, but obviously, whatever. Bottom line is her album's out. She's on the show to promote it. And then Dexter Lumis walks up and gives her a little picture that he drew of her, and she gives him a big old sweet hug. Right as Indy Hartwell comes running in because she's realized that Dexter Lumis was crying last week when he was listening to her beautiful 80s power ballads and thinking of her. And then she rolls in and sees him hugging Poppy. Ah! She goes running off screaming. So Candice LeRae, in order to quote unquote vindicate her tag team partner, goes to the ring to call out Poppy. Poppy comes out and goes, I don't wrestle.
I do this.
But I just kind of like sing and bob my head to the side. But I know someone who does wrestle. And out comes Io Shirai, who runs in the ring, beats the crap out of Candice, sends her running away, and Poppy and Io pose in the ring. Oh. But here's the question, Nick. Candice LeRae is a tag team champ. Indy Hartwell has now got a beef with Poppy. Where are we going with this? Are we seeing Io versus Candice singles? Does Io get into a tag team?
Does
with
Io
who?
get
Saray?
a Poppy? Io Poppy?
Poppy just said she don't wrestle.
Hey, she doesn't have to wrestle. She can put on tights and Io Shirai can just beat both of them.
The tag champs. Nick, you would crap all over that. You're going to have a singles wrestler beat both your tag champs. This is the worst kind of booking. Burt, throw the desk.
Burt, Burger.
Burt, throw the desk. That's exactly. We're all fired up over here. Bottom line is, I wonder if Io's going to get a tag partner, and if so, who it's going to be. Possibly Saray? Just a
Maybe a
thought.
little on the nose, but Sure.
Little on the nose, but it'd be pretty cool. It'd be a way to give Saray some much-needed personality boost. So, we also, speaking of the way, Johnny Gargano and Pete Dunne's lackeys, Oney Lorcan and Austin Theory, open up the show with a very nice, snug little brawl. This was snug.
Nice.
That opening lockup was just, it was like watching walnuts getting crushed. It was beautiful. Nice little match. Ultimately, Gargano and Dunne.
I can't believe they opened with this, but shit.
I was kind of surprised too, but they put on a great match. The only downside was there was a bit of a futz finish with Dunne and Gargano getting involved, ultimately getting kicked out of ringside, and Lorcan using the kerfufflery to get one over on Austin Theory. So as much as I feel like it looks like we're going to spin off into a Gargano and Dunne feud from that main event feud, I wouldn't be mad if it was a tag team feud with Dunne and Lorcan versus Gargano and Austin.
Put that in my eye holes.
That would be nice too.
All the way in them. Jesus.
Where I feel it's going. We mentioned Hit Row earlier. They did have a match. Well, rather, Swerve Scott did, one-on-one against Killian Dane, who was pretty much handling Swerve pretty well and all the distractions that Hit Row were throwing at him until Drake Maverick decided that he was going to stop those distractions, decided to cannonball onto Shanti the Adonis. Didn't work out well for him because Top Dollar grabbed him and then just mashed him onto the ring apron, which, of course, Nick, as you know, is the hardest part of the ring.
It is.
It is.
That's a fact.
So Drake was taken out. Dane got distracted. Swerve took out his legs and then planted him with a kick to the head and got the 1, 2, 3. Do you feel like Hit Row was presented as too weak and needing to cheat too much here, or is that the point?
I think that's the point.
Yeah. So do you feel like this was like a strong first
and
presentation
Dane
for them?
and Drake are always good hands for this kind of stuff. So I'm good with this. Hit Row needs to look like an absolute. They need to be the more modern Sanity. As kind of the way I feel about it. They need to just be kind of they never really win clean. They always win as a unit. They're disruptive, like kind of the same fundamentals you would see out of Sanity 5 years ago.
So what you're saying is you want them to be the Wu-Tang San, Itty.
Hey.
I'm asking the questions
You're on fire tonight. I love it.
I'm asking the questions. Also, Cal Cotton.
Wu-Tang Sanity ain't nothing to with.
See, you're in on it. You're into it. Okay.
I'm a huge Wu-Tang fan, by the way.
If you don't know, now
Wu-Tang.
you know. Speaking of killer bees, Kyle throws $100 into the tip jar. Thank you, brother. He says, I'm going to call it right now. This is set up for Tegan to return and team with Io to beat Candice and Io. Tegan was taken out by Candice. I think this was a way to start a feud between Io and Candice again. That's
a nice thought, but
it's possible. It's not impossible. I think it's Kyle again. That's a good story.
She has been spotted at the Performance Center. Whether or not she makes a full comeback, I don't know, man. She's had her third knee surgery.
Jesus.
And I just at a certain point, as much as nice as that sounds, I'll believe it when I see it.
Like at a certain point, she's going to be running across the ring like just dong 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 back and forth on these straight legs. It look like a stick. I mean, I feel so awful for her because I know how much she loves this sport. I know how hard she's working to get back, and I empathize with her position. But at some point, you've got to realize that your body maybe just isn't built for what you're wanting it to do, and that's nothing you can do about that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'd love to play Brad Pitt roles in movies, but the good Lord didn't grant me a Brad Pitt face, and there's nothing I can do about that. Finally, on NXT, grizzled young veterans, speaking of not having Brad Pitt faces, they had a match with August Gray and Ikemen Jiro. First time we've seen Ikemen, I believe, on NXT. We've seen August Gray before. They're both 205 Live stalwarts, and they had a nice little match with grizzled young veterans, but ultimately, unsurprisingly, lost. Ciampa and Thatcher came down to the ringside, sat in some chairs to watch the ending of it, and then started throwing chairs at the end because the Grizzled Young Vets wants tag championships, and Ciampa and Thatcher say, no, you got to go through us first. So next week we're going to get a tornado
Why do they have to go through them first?
Because they're grizzled, angry old vets. I don't know. We haven't really determined that. They're just salty at Grizzled Young Vets.
That's funny. That's good stuff.
So yeah, tornado tag next week. Cool. Grizzled Young Vets,
Yeah.
Ciampa, Thatcher in a nonstop tornado
no
tag
tagging
action.
tornado tag match. Yes, please.
Okay. But
Twist my arm. Ow,
in-
ow, ow. Okay,
yeah.
okay.
Oh no, please no. Oh. Okay. If we have to.
Yes.
I'll take it. Put it in my eye holes. Yes. But that's a whole lot of eye hole putting thanks to NXT. That's 2 good shows in a row. NXT and SmackDown we talked about, man. Very solid shows.
In Your
NXT
House is
going
gonna be
home.
fire.
It's going to be fire this weekend. Mercedes Martinez versus Xia Li. We both picked Xia Li. Bronson Reed and MSK versus Legado de Fantasma. Winner take all match of the North American / tag team championships. We both picked Reed and MSK to retain. Cameron Grimes versus LA Knight for the $1 million championship in a ladder match.
That's the only one we disagreed on, isn't it?
Yeah, I took LA Knight. You took Cameron Grimes to go to the moon.
Because he's going to the moon.
Speaking of moons, Ember Moon versus Raquel Gonzalez for the women's championship. You're taking Raquel. I'm taking Raquel. That title ain't changing hands.
Nope.
And finally, we also think the title ain't changing hands on the men's side of things. Karrion Kross, we both said was going to retain against Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, Johnny Gargano, and Pete Dunne. So, nice show. What do you think? You think Austin Theory Lorcan on the pre-show? We heard that Everrise is going to be in the pre-show, but pre-show, what do you think that match is going to be based on what we're seeing?
Yeah, it could be Theory Lorcan.
Theory Lorcan or whatever's going on with Candice LeRae.
We could also see
Io.
Killian Dane and Top Dollar. I think could be an interesting one.
That would be an interesting
Based on
one.
the tag
Yeah.
match, some of that
Sure.
stuff, because Top Dollar kind of apron bombed him, apron squashed
Yes, he
him.
did.
So maybe
Yeah.
Dane wants a little pound of flesh for that.
Or maybe Drake Maverick versus Top Dollar.
Oh God. Yes.
I'm just saying. I'm
yes.
just saying.
But make it goofy, make it fun, lighthearted.
Yeah.
You know, let Killian Dane get a win over. So
Make it a tag match.
It keeps Hit Row looking strong, but you've got Killian, 2 big monsters, Killian Dane
Maybe,
and Top Dollar in the pre-show. I would totally book that.
Fandango versus Breezango versus Imperium. They had a little we had a little Breezango moment where they were talking about how that's right, we beat Imperium for the tag team championships. You think that's why they're mad? Walter and his German title. He's held for a long
His
time.
German title.
That's what he said. Hey man, I'm just quoting Fandango. Sorry, Fandango.
Yeah. It's Fandango.
But I don't.
Uh-oh.
Show.
No, we made it all the way through the show. Not
Is,
now.
it's coming up.
No, Skype. No. God. Bless it. Recover.
Well, we're still on. We're still on.
You are frozen, sir. Audio's barely coming through.
Oh, you look great to me.
Yep, you just kind of went crazy wonky. Hang on one second, guys.
Ew. Everything was great on my end.
No.
I don't know what to tell you.
It is something's going weird.
Oh wow, I went totally
Excuse
black.
me. Let's see. Let me fix this real quick. Hang tight, guys. Working on it. Na 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 na. I don't know why you're going all wonky.
This is
like
on.
that.
This is on you. On my end is looking great.
Now, see, now it's coming back.
Yeah.
There you go. Now we're
Little by
good.
little. Little tiny box. Help me.
No, that's because it does that when your internet goes to shit.
I know. It's not my internet. My internet looks great over here. Usually I can tell when it goes to crap. Oh, I'm getting. Look at me. I'm getting smaller and smaller. Hey. Hey everybody. I'm back.
He's back. All right.
Hey.
So yeah, In Your House happening Sunday.
Gonna be a great show.
Very excited
Yeah.
about it. It's going to be awesome. Make sure you guys get into the Discord. I know most of you guys already are, but those of you watching afterwards, make sure you're in the Discord channel. We got a channel set up directly for the pay-per-view. Excuse me.
Well, while Nick is so busy over there dying, I'm going to transition this because not only are we having a good show on Sunday, we're also having a good show on Saturday, tomorrow night, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 Eastern, for only $10. $10. You too can watch Impact Against All Odds.
You surprised me with that one, and I don't have an Impact screen built yet, so I guess we're just going to hang
That's
out
okay.
on NXT. I do,
Yeah.
before we go any further, I do have to call out Mike Miller, former champion, over on YouTube, dropped a $15 super chat.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
He
you
says, I
very
can't
much,
figure
man.
out the tip jar live because I'm terrible with technology, just like WWE main roster with storytelling.
Oh!
but still wanted to throw some love. Thanks for everything as always,
Shots
boys.
fired.
Thank you, Mike.
Shots fired.
Thank you, sir.
Shots fired.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, brother. Yes, we it's going to say NXT, but we're really talking about Impact. We don't have much to discuss. Just want to run down the card here. Jordan Grace versus Tenille Dashwood. Tenille has been getting up in Jordan's ish. She's been trying to make friends with Rachel Ellering, and Tenille's been trying to throw a wrench into that, so we're having a match. W. Morrissey beat up Willie Mack when he came and debuted. He's still bitter about all the fans taking pictures of him when he had a seizure at an indie show. And apparently Rich Swann doesn't give a crap because he beat up the Mac, and so Rich Swann is now going to take out W. Morrissey. So this is going to be interesting. A former, like the recent Impact champion going against a guy probably nearly twice his size and who's on a roll coming into Impact. I feel like Rich Swann is about to get put into a meat grinder here. Just a thought. Satoshi Kojima and Joe Doring are they've been reigniting their feud from Japan over here in Impact. Kojima is coming through the forbidden door and has been a thorn in the side of Violent by Design. He and Doring have some great matches over in New Japan in Japan. I think New Japan as well. If you want to go check those out. I'm looking forward to seeing this match go down. Should be some nice, strong striking. I imagine it will be a very Japanese-style match. And Kojima is a treasure. If you're not following him on Twitter, he's hilarious. He's awesome. Go Bread Club. Sami Callihan was supposed to be in a triple threat for the actual Impact Championship, currently held by one Kenny Omega. But he was in a negotiation in a summit between Don Callis, Tony Khan, and Scott D'Amore. He was told that he would not be in that match, but that he would be able to get a measure of revenge against some guys who put a hit out on him. That's the Good Brothers, as if he could find a tag team partner. Well, Sami Callihan's not really a nice guy, Nick, as you know. No one in Impact
probably going to
really
prove
likes him.
difficult for him.
Yeah, so someone who's coming along to fight for Impact's honor was a guy who's been out since February. That's Tommy Dreamer.
What?
Sami Callihan and Tommy Dreamer in a street fight versus the Good Brothers for the honor of Impact. Yeah. Yep.
Totally.
Has to be a street fight. It's Tommy Dreamer.
Of course.
The X Division is killing it right now. We recently saw Josh Alexander versus TJP go for an hour, and it was amazing. TJP, of course, out with an injury right now. So we're finding out who the number one contender is for Josh Alexander's X Division Championship. Match going to be between Petey Williams, Trey Miguel, Ace Austin, Chris Bay, and Rohit Raju. Basically, the usual suspects of the X Division.
Yeah.
But good God, it's going to be
that's going to be nuts.
Fatal five-way absolute madness. So
definitely want to see Chris Bay get in there and get some more action.
I have a feeling he's the one coming out with it. That's
I still think he's one of the hottest blue chip prospects in all of wrestling right now, and whoever lands him and he gets to be the face of their company is going to be a big deal for the next few years.
Yeah,
he can carry a company. He's that good.
Right. Let's see. We also have a tag team championship match for the Impact Knockouts division. Fire and Flava will be facing off against Susan and Kimberly. This is the whole women's division has kind of been split into sides, and this is to determine which of these sides keeps the tag team championship. This is going to be a fun match. Also, the rest of Violent by Design will be facing off against Decay. Rosemary. Let's see. Not Rosemary. It was Crazy Steve, and who else is going to be in this? Man, I don't even have my notes up for that. I just have it down as Decay. So I apologize. But it was going to be Violent by Design versus Decay. And then we've also got a women's championship match, Deonna Purrazzo versus Rosemary.
I want to see that match.
Yeah, that's going to be awesome. Rosemary's been chasing her for a little bit. Deonna's been running away. So they're fine. And Rosemary's one of those ones, she's had surprise upsets before, and they've strapped her. I kind of feel like Deonna's on a roll, but that being said, you just never know with Rosemary.
Yeah.
You just never know. And finally, of course, the big match, Kenny Omega
the one we're all showing up for.
Versus Moose. And the interesting thing about this is it's going down in AEW's home territory. They're actually taping this match in front of a full crowd over there at Daly's place. So it's going to be. They've already taped it. Actually, they've already taped this match. So yeah, it's.
How are they controlling the leaks and the spoilers?
Well, don't go on the internet. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh, they're not. Okay. Don't go on the internet. So basically just embargo Twitter for the next 3 days.
You got 24 hours.
Oh, tomorrow night. Yeah.
Yeah, you're fine. You can make it. You can do it.
No Twitter for 24 hours. I'm good.
No,
I'm good.
no.
I'm good.
That being said, the winner of that match is going to be facing Sami Callihan. That would be something special.
Forbidden Door what?
Talk about a forbidden door. Sami Callihan will be facing him at Slammiversary coming up next month. So I'm just, again, I have not seen the results. This is just my speculation. But just come on, man. Moose is great. He's got himself in fantastic shape. Total body transformation. He's not taking this off of Kenny Omega.
No, he's not.
Not right now.
No.
We're getting Kenny versus Sami. Come on now.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
But either way, it's going to be an awesome pay-per-view for $10. How can you say no? Yeah. Check it out tomorrow night, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 Eastern.
I'm assuming Fight TV or...
Yes, Fight TV.
Yeah.
Fight TV.
Yeah.
But that is Impact, that's NXT, and that's Smackdown, Nick, and that's our show because we're going to be doing AEW on Tuesday again because they got pushed back to tonight or tomorrow. I don't even know this week. They got pushed late. We're going to do them on Tuesday. But it means that right now, Nick, we've got to go over and do a little segment that we like to call our moment of positivity.
Let's see if I can get through this.
The moment of positivity, the time on the show we look back on the entire show we just talked about, and we try to find something that made us happy, that made us smile, that made us feel warm and fuzzy inside. We want to share it with all of you, so hopefully you can share in that positivity and that glow. And like Naomi, go back out into the world and spread some of that love all over the place. So, Nick, what was your moment of positivity?
Oh, my God. I'm actually stumped this week. Nothing is like
it
popping.
being able to get through the show without actually like coughing a lung out of your throat?
No, I've actually done that 3 or 4 times already. You guys just I've got a cough button over here that I keep constantly hit. Yeah, nothing really like super pops out at me this week, unfortunately. I'm very amped about the NXT In Your House pay-per-view on Sunday. I think it's going to be a fantastic show. I think it's a cool weekend. We've got both Impact shows on Saturday night and NXT on Sunday night. How can I not say what's going on with Roman and the family? Like they just keep amping up the story of Jimmy and how that's going to go, and it just builds upon builds upon builds and builds. I think it's fantastic. That's got to be mine. There's a lot of good stuff, guys. We've been down on WWE the last couple of weeks. There's a lot of good stuff. The SmackDown was fantastic tonight. If you're one of those that tunes out and just listens to us, go watch SmackDown tonight. It was a really good show. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Samoan Dynasty Bloodline as the Samoans turn, as you've
the Samoans turn. Gotta make like a jingle for that. As the Samoans turn, right? The days of our reigns.
These are the days of our reigns.
These are, yes, like the sands of the hourglass.
Like the sands of the hourglass. These are the days of our reigns.
The days of our reigns.
That sounded a bit like Hannibal Lecter talking to Clarice.
But of course, I always like to default into my Hannibal Lecter, Clarice. Mine is going to be Rey Mysterio.
Okay.
Calling Roman a rat bastard. I haven't heard the term rat bastard used in wrestling enough. I have not heard it recently enough. I popped so hard. That used to be one of my favorite. Didn't we call Johnny Gargano that?
No, we called
Ciampa. It was Ciampa.
We called him a bald bastard. You son of a bitch! Sorry,
Rat bastard is a kissing cousin of bald bastard, and it is also a fantastic insult.
Yeah.
God, I loved he called him a rat bastard. That I popped so hard. That has just come back into my vocabulary now. Thanks a lot, Ray. It's absolutely my moment of positivity. That moment when Ray just lit the fire under the rocket that is his babyface potential. That guy, he's always just like one promo or one moment away from being the best little man babyface in the history of professional wrestling.
Yeah.
And this was just another example. He just went, hey, in case y'all forgot, this is who I am. This is what I do. This is why I'm an all-time great, the GOAT, going in a Hall of Fame, first-round ballot, Rey goddamn Mysterio. You rat bastard. I acknowledge you as a rat bastard, Roman. I'm still popping. I'm still popping on that.
Nice.
That's my moment of positivity.
You could say you're poppy.
No, I really couldn't say that, Nick.
No.
Take some more meds.
Yep. Kyle threw in 100 bits, said, my mop is the reign, Kaylee Ray, and the crowning of Meiko Satomura. Bravo to both those women, and my God, what a legacy that NXT UK title has carved out for itself with Rhea Ripley, Toni Storm, Kaylee Ray, and now the legendary Meiko Satomura. Absolutely. Look at that pedigree right there. Kaylee Ray, Rhea Ripley, Toni Storm, and now you've got Satomura.
And Satomura's like, I'd like to defend this against, I don't know, Io Shirai, Charlotte Flair, Bianca Belair. And I'm like, what?
Yep. All in, yes. You put it all in my eye holes.
And you know what they say? What Meiko wants, Meiko gets. Or so I hope.
Okay.
So we shall see. But yeah, that, I believe, Nick, is our show. But so, ladies and gentlemen, before Nick literally coughs up a lung live
I'm going to try and get
air.
us out of here.
All right. Good luck, sir. Take it away.
Linktree.com/BWO. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, follow, do all those things. Tell people all about all the links to all the things. The thumbs ups and the follows and the subscribes and all of that stuff really counts, guys. So if you're not, make sure you head to all of our different things. Like, share, subscribe, do all that stuff. Give us a thumbs up on this video, YouTube, if you guys are watching over there. And guys, make sure you throw in the stuff. Do all the buttons, mash all the things. You guys know how to do all that stuff by now. It makes the biggest difference in the world, I promise. Make sure you get into the Discord for the conversation to go down at NXT In Your House on Sunday. We have a special channel for it under Busted Wide Open where we will be chatting about that. Thank you and shout out to all of the patrons. Thank you guys for all of your support. If you'd like to get in on some of those exclusives, head over to patreon.com/BWO. It is one of the best ways to support the show, along with the bits and subs here on Twitch and the super chats and memberships over on YouTube. It all counts. It all matters, guys. Thank you so much for all of the love. We really appreciate it. We'll see you guys Sunday for NXT In Your House. But until then, my name is Nick Howell. You can find me on Twitter at DataCenterDude.
And I am Sir Ian Dangerous. You can find me on Twitter at Sir Ian Dangerous.
But by God!
Would somebody stop the damn match?
This show is part of the Orbital Jigsaw Network. For more episodes, subscribe to us on iTunes, Google Play, or Stitcher Radio. For details and show notes from each episode, check us out, orbitaljigsaw.com.